Hey, how's it going everyone? It's Wasim here from the channel Handsome Smiles. Welcome to another video. Today I'll be doing a review of a classic from the house of Guerlain. This one is called Vetiver, and this is the Eau de Toilette version. This one was released originally in 1961 and was reimagined or re-released in the early 2000s. I believe it was either the year 2000 or 2003. I think it's actually year 2003 when Habit Rouge was reimagined. So originally released in all the way in 1961, it's classified as a woody aromatic. And the nose behind this scent is Jean-Paul Guerlain. Jean-Paul Guerlain was the fourth generation master nose or master perfumer at Guerlain. His father, grandfather, and great-grandfather were also master perfumers at the time at Guerlain and were the founding fathers. Jean-Paul Guerlain worked at the House of Guerlain from the 50s all the way until the early 2000s as a perfumer, and then he handed over the reins as a perfumer to Thierry Wassa, I believe, and stayed on at the company as a consultant until the early 2010s when he was completely removed from the company due to some comments he made regarding his inspiration for his perfume Samsara, and the comments that he made were deemed to be quite racist, and for those reasons he was completely removed from the house and company of Guerlain. Some of the other classics apart from Vetiver that Jean-Paul Guerlain is attributed to is the early 90s classic Heritage, and also Habit Rouge, which was originally released in the mid-60s. So that was a little bit of a background of Vetiver. Let me just run through the notes. I've got them written just here, and then we'll talk about how this fragrance smells, its performance, and how I think it works best in terms of seasons and occasions. So at the top of Vetiver, we're going to get bergamot, tobacco, lemon, nutmeg, neroli, coriander, and mandarin orange. The heart of the fragrance is vetiver, pepper, carnation, sage, orris root, and sandalwood. And the base of the fragrance is vetiver, oakmoss, leather, myrrh, civet, tonka bean, and amber. So those were the notes of vetiver or the toilette. But what do we get on our skin? Just gonna spray the opening on my hand here just to remind me of the scent. I've had this in my collection for quite a while. I believe I've had it for about 5 years in my collection. The opening is a beautiful blast of fresh bergamot, citruses in the opening, but the bergamot is infused with the vetiver. And the vetiver that I get in this is the fresher style of vetiver. It's clean and fresh in the opening. So vetivers can come in quite different varieties. So vetiver can be quite clean and quite fresh smelling, like you get in Tom Ford's Brave Vetiver. You also get like these really dry, earthy sort of vetivers. Think the earthiness and dryness that you get in Terre d'Hermes. And then you also get this really dark sort of vetiver chords as well. Think Encre Noir from Lalique. The opening for vetiver from Guerlain is the fresher and green type of vetiver that I pick up on my skin, and the vetiver is like infused with like the bergamot. It gives off a beautiful green sort of freshness on my skin. The opening, it smells so gentlemanly. It has that classy, sophisticated sort of gentlemanliness straight away as soon as you spray it. Vetiver, especially in Western perfumery, gives off that gentlemanly and slightly masculine sort of feel. Even though this scent is from the 60s, this doesn't come across to me to be like an old school, like old grandpa sort of smell, not to my nose anyway. And I might not be the right person to say that because I'm into quite old school fragrances. I'm into quite ouds and oils and stuff like that. So I don't really wear modern fragrances. So for me, this smells quite modern to me. So that's the opening, but as the fragrance develops into the heart, the scent, it picks up in a very gentle warmness. The warmness starts to cream and come through with the opening that you get. The bright citruses that you infused with the vetiver calm down a little bit and it starts to become warmer on my skin. And the warm spice that I pick up is due to the note of the tobacco. Now the tobacco isn't very prominent on my skin. It's just there just to give a hint of warmness that you get in the opening. As the fragrance dries down, the bright citrusy infused vetiver that you get in the opening is completely gone my skin, and the vetiver right now in the dry down becomes this more dry, slightly rooty sort of vetiver that I get on my skin, with just a very faint fresh greenness that you get from the vetiver. All in all, this is a vetiver scent. You get some vetiver fragrances out there where vetiver is there, but then it's got another note in there to sort of give off a different sort of scent. Think of like Terre Hermes, there's vetiver in there, but then also there's an orange and a flint note. But in this Guerlain's vetiver, as the name suggests, this is an all-out sort of vetiver scent, and the other notes in this fragrance is just sort of enhance the certain aspects of the vetiver. So the opening, the citruses, the bergamot, it sort of gives off the freshness of vetiver. The heart of the fragrance, there's just a little bit of warmness that comes from the tobacco, and the dry down, this becomes on my skin like this dry, rooty vetiver, but you still get a very slight hint of the green freshness that vetiver has. So that's how this fragrance smells on my skin. The scent itself is very gentlemanly. It gives off the impression that the person wearing this is quite classy, quite gentlemanly. He's masculine in a elegant sort of way. Don't think masculine like a rugged, strong, he's going out there chopping wood, or he's wearing a big leather jacket, like, you know, you get masculine scents like 80s powerhouses like Fahrenheit. This is masculine in a sophisticated way. Someone like Don Corleone from The Godfather, or Michael Corleone, you know, someone dressed quite well. It gives off that sort of gentlemanliness and that sort of masculine sort of quality. In terms of performance on my skin, this was excellent. In terms of longevity, 8 to 10 hours, easy, without question. It lasts a very long time on my skin. In terms of projection, very strong. In the first 3 hours, it really pushes up. Very strong in terms of projection the first 3 hours. After the 3 hour marks, it calms down a little bit, but it's still very noticeable throughout the lifetime of this scent. It doesn't become a complete skin scent until the last very dying moments of this scent. In terms of seasons, I think this is a perfect spring fragrance. When it's like a nice sunny day, it's quite warm but not too hot, then this one works fantastic. When spring comes around, I love spraying this when it's not too hot and it's a nice spring day. I'm going for maybe a walk in a park with my wife. This is excellent to put on. It also works really well in the fall or autumn, and it can work in the winter as well, but there's probably better fragrances for the deep cold. You know, in the winter I like to wear some sort of like sweeter fragrances or warmer sort of fragrances, but no doubt it could work in the winter as well. In terms of summer, I do think you can wear this in the summer when it's a cooler day in the summer. If it's around 20 degrees Celsius, then this is fine. If it's a hot blazing day, I think this one might become a little bit cloying because of how strong it is in terms of performance. The warmness in the tobacco and the dry down where it becomes this dry, rooty sort of vetiver. I think there's better summer fragrances than this one, but I think it's perfect for all seasons except the really high heat. In terms of occasions, I think this is best worn as a daytime scent. No doubt you can wear it at night if you wish, but I think it's best suited to daytime wear. I think it's the perfect signature fragrance for a man that wants to give off like an elegant masculine sort of vibe. I think it works really well as a formal scent or as a work scent. When you're wearing a shirt, this one really suits the type of the scent that it gives off. So when you're dressed in like a nice white shirt, or you go into a formal occasion, say a wedding in the daytime, I think this one would work excellently. No doubt you can wear this casually if you wish. I just think the way this smells, it just suits you being dressed your best. In terms of overall rating, I'm going to give it a very good high score of 8 out of 10. It performs really well. It smells really nice. It's not my absolute favorite vetiver fragrance out there, but for the price that you get this at a designer price. I think there's no better vetiver fragrance at this designer price. But I do prefer Tom Ford's grey vetiver over this. I just prefer the more fresher sort of feeling that I get from Tom Ford's grey vetiver over this. but both remarkable fragrances, which I'd like to do a comparison in the future. This is 8 out of 10 for Vetiver by Guerlain. Guys, have you tried this? If you have, please do leave a comment below of your experiences. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do. Until next time, my friends, see you later.